Okay, move on to Puss in Boots. Tia, you've seen it. What do you think about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish?
Okay, so I just want to start out with, I think it's funny about how on Twitter somebody will tweet, "I'm about to go see Puss in Boots, see what all the hype is about," and then the next tweet be like, "Oh my freaking goodness, it was so amazing!" And that was kind of me because my sister was great. Like she couldn't stop talking about it when she saw it. I was like, "Oh my god!" She was like, "You got to see it with me. You got to see it with me." And I was like, "Bro, this don't live up to the hype. Like I'm gonna be mad." So we watched it together, and I was like, "This is so funny," and it's just so interesting how kid shows evolved through the years because they was cussing in it, and it was not for just children. Most of the theater, if the theater was sold out, 9 times out of 10, it was between the ages of 14 and 25. It was not
Yeah, but
many.
this is also a spinoff of Shrek, which came out in the early 2000s and did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
True.
makes sense.
I didn't expect me to enjoy the plot of Puss in Boots so much, especially because the first movie for Puss in Boots wasn't that good. And, sequels are never, great. And I didn't even know because I forgot that Puss in Boots had their own spin-off movie before this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw bits and pieces of the first movie, but I barely remember anything. But the second movie, fantastic. It really took off. It does a similar art style that we were just speaking about with Trigun, the 3D models with 2D textures and effects that Spider-Verse has really made super famous, and then Arcane did it, and then a previous movie that was made by DreamWorks, Bad Guys, also does that art style to an even more extreme than Puss in Boots does. But yeah, it was a really fun story about the inevitability of death in its many forms. Mm-hmm. Despite it being framed around his reckless antics leading to him using up 8 of his lives, I kind of viewed it more through the lens of growing old. Because Puss in Boots is getting old and he needs to, calm down and stop trying to be Puss in Boots, Yeah, it was real good. I liked it a lot. I'm excited to see because they definitely teased Shrek 5 at the very end.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited to see what that will look like because I feel like they're definitely gonna stick with this art style. So I'm excited to see Donkey and Shrek and Fiona in this art style.
I'm excited to see how they're gonna fit in Perito into Shrek 3, Shrek 5.
Yeah.
How is Perito? I wonder how the dynamic is gonna be. I think I saw something on Twitter where somebody said Eddie Murphy was like, if Puss in Boots get a spinoff, Donkey should get a spinoff because Donkey is way more funny than Puss in Boots. What do y'all think?
Donkey's great and all, but I don't know if I want to watch a solo Donkey movie.
Yeah, me neither. The only thing that makes Donkey funny, IMO, is the way he foils off of other characters. If it's like, you know how when they Jimmy Neutron, when they gave Sheen his own spinoff and it wasn't funny,
yeah.
He did that exact same thing.
Yeah, there's some characters that just they exist to bounce off of other characters, and you can't really put them around. I'm sure they could make something decent, but it wouldn't be something that when I see it I would go, I want to go see that. No, not really.
No, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, that's for sure.
Yeah. Plus, it's literally just Antonio Banderas playing Zorro again, but as a cat. So
real?
That has legs, but Donkey, I don't really feel like has legs outside of Shrek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But any thoughts on the Bad Guys before we move on? Because I know you've seen it, Tia.
Yeah, I've seen it twice actually. I'm trying to remember. I've seen it, and then I get bits and pieces because my sister's obsessed with rewatching movies. So, wait, what was your question? It was just, have I seen it?
Yeah, just what did you think about it?
I thought it was great. I think that Bad Guys is a great example of animation is not just for children, that is for all ages, especially when it has a good moral. I thought it was funny. I could watch it again. Very entertaining. And I don't watch many movies again. So, yeah.
Yeah, just, the industry in general just needs to respect animation more. It's not a genre for children. It's a medium through which you can tell any story. And there are plenty of adult animated films that children should not be watching at all. Right. And more of them should be made. We should be making more adult animation because animation is for everyone. It's not just for kids.
And then on that note, more good adult animation. Like a lot of, from my experience, it's like a lot of adult animated movies. It's like the same jokes. It's like, oh, sex, and it's like, no, give us more like adult animation, adult oriented animation movies, but with like the plot lines, like these fantastical plot lines that animation for children has, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like for sure, what makes these things adult usually is the fact that they interject. Like what pushes that rating up is violence and sex and drugs and stuff like that. Like obviously that is a part of making the rating go up, but in terms of story, you can still tell a similar story that's being told to the children, just with adult themes connected
Right.
to it, and through the lens of an adult a person's life. So yeah.